We are a hair's breadth from war, and you blockade our system. On our demands, we consider the obvious next step. Look, if you guys want to go right now, Hisho, if that's your deal, if you want to go right now, we can do that. Let's get good. I am the gamer under development, and this is Endless Space 2 Penumbra. We are playing as the Diasporid, which is our community custom faction. That is a faction that combines the Sophon visual affinity with the Gene Hunter gameplay affinity, along with some very simple Empire traits to be very easy to use for new players. Okay, so we're picking up on turn 8 here, and we were working on plasma metallurgy, which I think means we've already made our loop around the inner circle. Almost. So we do need to get something from the military tech tree up here to fill out this inner circle, and I think we're gonna go for ubiquitous surveillance here, just because the big data shipyards actually is more useful, in my opinion, than either the chain gang program or the impervious bunkers is to us. So we're gonna go ahead and grab that, and then once that's done, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna get another colonization tech. I just don't know which one yet. We need to start looking at planets that are available to us. So let's go take a look at Rhea real quick. Rhea has an arid, an ash, and a lava, which means that we should already be on our way to the arid tech, which is right here. So we'll probably end up picking that up, just because we're eventually going to hit pop cap on this planet, and when we do, we're going to want to be able to move people over to other planets. That also means that we should prioritize getting ash and lava colonization, so we might be able to do something a little bit different here. Instead of going for the arid, I think what we might do is jump straight to this to go ahead and get our ash colonization, and then we might jump over and get these ships, because that's something we wanted to do as well once we got our basic improvements and also got our colonization tech so that we can expand a little bit. But we should actually look around and see if there's any systems nearby that are appetizing that we might want to expand to. See, like Sable right here is actually pretty nice, and we do have 2 available planets here. So maybe we're not in as much of a hurry as we thought to go ahead and get another colonization tech. Interesting choices. Let's wait it out, though. Let's wait it out. We'll get ubiquitous surveillance here, and then since we're not 100% sure on a colonization tech, what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab efficient shielding. That'll give us our actual combat ships, our first support vessel, and our first attacker. Or rather, our first protector and our first attacker. I call them supports because that's basically what I use them for. And that'll let us get out a little bit stronger of a combat fleet than what we currently have, which is this fleet of 4 right here that is basically just exploration ships with tons and tons of guns. So we're going to send them over to Quarius right here. We might actually already be in progress of doing that. And that is just so that... Or we are not, because for some reason it will not allow us to click them. Interesting. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and end our turn then, because I may have already set that movement, and because we loaded, it won't let me mess with it. I think that's what's going on. So once we end our turn here, we should see this ship either continue to move, or we should be able to click it and see its path. Yeah, there we go. There's the path. That's what we wanted. So it is on its way down here to Quarius, I guess I would call it. And it's on its way down there so that when these guys eventually do spawn a fleet, we can fight the fleet, because we have a quest to win 3 battles with Sophon fleets. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that we will have pirates spawning soon, and if the pirates spawn quickly, then we can start farming them to get these fleet combat wins in instead of actually fighting with our minor factions, which is beneficial because then we can actually build up towards getting the minor faction instead of declaring war on them and taking them that way. Although, being honest, declaring war will help us keep militarists in power, which is actually something we want to do. And it'll give us a chance to sort of get used to the invasion mechanics, because we haven't really covered that very much on the planet, or on the channel, rather. Beyond that, it is a way, I believe, to get their population in. I'm not entirely sure, though. I think if you declare war, you might actually just wipe them out. But that doesn't make sense. Like, you should be able to still get their population, right? I guess we'll try it out. You know what? That's a good point. We'll try it out. We're gonna attack the Epistis and see if we can get them even though we declare war on them. We'll do that. Because I don't know for sure, it's something we'll test out. Latest political surveys are showing heavy science and heavy ecologists. Oh boy, that is not what we want. We do have a reasonable amount of dust, and we are a republic, which means we may be able to buy our way away from the government types that we do not want to have. That is a very nice pickup right there, and we got a quest. Not a quest, rather. Your crew follows a mysterious electromagnetic ping all the way to its source, a half-buried control center in the overgrown ruins of one of the system's planets. A quick raid of the surprisingly modern computer system reveals a detailed map of the constellation, including a few systems in unexpected places. So that'll reveal all of the hidden isolated nodes near our constellation. That's actually really useful because often those nodes have really good planets on them, or they frequently also seem to contain the special planets. It doesn't look like we got that lucky this time. Echius here is not the bestest of those nodes that we could possibly get. Now that our governor is here and he is level 2, we're going to go ahead and move him over to running our city. That should generate a lot of extra science for us and help us start to burn through this science a little bit quicker. Okay. Cyberflora has been found. That's actually a really great anomaly. Too bad there's only 3 planets in that system. That makes it less than ideal. But less than ideal still isn't bad. Let's go ahead and launch a probe down this way so that we can catch sight of this and whatever's going on down here. And then we'll actually send the fleet over to Deneb here. And these guys are moving away towards their combat destination. And we found that dark glitter that we got 5 of, which is awesome, but not gonna help us that much. I would have honestly rather found some Hyperium. Finding Hyperium right now would be a huge, huge boon for us. I'm actually gonna go and make us like a scouter, just a straight up scout ship. No weapons on it, just gonna get to places and do the things. And that is gonna be these guys, and we're just gonna throw an engine and a probe on them so that we can make them dirt cheap. And then we're going to throw a couple of those in queue. I may even move them up depending on how quickly we can get them. So we can get 2 of those next turn. I'm going to do that, and that'll allow us to begin scanning down sort of random planets and other things that we may have had to pass up as our ships moved through the galaxy. So that'll actually benefit us in the long run, I think. Yeah, especially if we can get down here and like scan stuff like this anomaly, that'll actually start to build influence with them, even though we do not yet have the technology to speak with them, which is right here and we'll probably want to pick up at some point. In fact, we may want to move that up the queue a little bit, because that is still tier 1. You kind of need both of these tier 1s, so it's just sort of a given. I mean, getting both tier 1s in every branch isn't bad by any means, but typically I'll sometimes skip one of the science ones and one of the military ones. Although, being honest, the military one I usually skip is this one, and Chain Gang Program is actually really, really good. Okay, ending our turn. What is next? So we've completed public-private partnerships and intense cultivation, or I'm sorry, we're working on intense cultivation, but we did finish 2 scouts as well, which is awesome, because now we can go ahead and break them out, and we're going to do individual fleets with these guys. We're not going to make them into one total fleet. You can do that. It gives you more probes to scan any given site with or whatnot, but at the same time, it means that they have to move together, and for us, that's not actually very beneficial. Oh, look, we got pirates right there. Okay, so we don't need to fight the miner necessarily. What I'm gonna do is see if I can take these guys back here very quickly. If not, we'll have to make do with what we can with these scouts right here. They have no weapons, though, so I mean, I guess we can't really make do. They have no way to fight. Now that I think about it, that was probably one of the weirdest things I've ever said. Make do with no weapons, guys. You got this. Alright, we got a new solo quest, Foreign Containment. One of your exploratory drones used by your team for rapid planetary assessment has disappeared. According to your lead technician, this type of drone has a particularly low malfunction rate. He thinks it was intentionally sent off course by someone or something. The drone has a cargo bay for collecting samples. Perhaps if you find it, you might discover what happened to it. 2 sites look like promising leads. They're both in difficult locations, though, and recovery will be expensive and possibly dangerous. Explore the quest curiosity on the planet Orm 4. Each expedition will cost 5 titanium. That is actually a little steep for our blood, because we'd like to get another 5 Hyperium here and immediately begin working towards the Endless Theme Park wonder. It's not Endless Theme Park, it's, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, we want to work towards that. So those are the quest ones. We don't actually want the quest ones here. What we do want is any that could potentially give us Hyperium. And that is not what we got there, but we did get some influence, which will be helpful. And we got some titanium there. Alright, plasma metallurgy is unlocked, so now we can actually gather Hyperium. That might make all the difference for us right there. We are now gaining 4.5 Hyperium a turn, which means that within one turn we should easily be able to begin constructing the Endless Research... There we go, Endless Research Park and Endless World. Sorry guys, I always forget the name because it's so long. Okay, let's go ahead and check this out. Maybe a Hyperium? Somebody please, give me a Hyperium. Just one. Oh, come on, just one. Otherwise, we're gonna have to wait 2 turns. And if we have to wait 2 turns, we might be so far behind we actually don't catch up because the other factions could have been on top of it already. That is rather unfortunate, but it is what it is, so we're not gonna sweat it too much. What we are gonna do is keep sending our scouts out to do the scanning of things. So you're gonna come on down here now, Mr. Scout, and you are actually okay to wait here while you let your probes recharge so we can finish scanning all of the stuff on Orm. Eventually we will do that quest for sure. I just don't want to burn through our titanium when we're really, really close to building the Endless Research Park. I reasonably believe... Oh, here we go. This is what we're talking about. Okay. Provides a strong boost to the selected political party. Ideal if the chosen party is already well supported. Costs depend on the number of colonies. Or we can do lobbying, which gives a strong penalty to everybody else. So the problem with this is that if we do primary elections on militarists here, they're not gonna win. In fact, they'll probably hardly even tie. It looks like ecologists or scientists are gonna take over here relatively quickly, but once we start fighting, the militarists will get back in power. So what I might do here is risk the dust to try to push the industrialists, because if we can actually get some industrialist laws, that would be useful to us early on. But realistically, you know what? No. Here's what we're gonna do, guys. We're not gonna waste the dust. We are gonna go ecologist this time for sure, and then next time we will push hard into military because we're gonna start building a lot of units. And by doing that, we'll also be able to settle a bunch of our planets really, really quickly, and we'll suffer a slight FIDSI penalty for doing that, but with our bonuses, it probably won't hurt us that much, being honest. Then again, I'm gonna support the militarists because the ecologists are gonna win anyway. I'm just not gonna spend dust supporting them. Hopefully that'll at least give them something. Oh no, the militarist votes have been converted to ecologists. That's cray. Okay, so now we have 3 ecologist laws and 1 science law. We are going to fight our way back to militarists. I promise you that, guys. We are going for military in this playthrough, even if our government has decided we are ecologists now. Cool copies will give us +4 food per population and -40, that's not super useful. That -40% luxury cost will be useful later, but right now it's not the greatest thing ever. This could be really good depending on how many anomalies we have, and that is just strong. So I think we might just go with that. And we are back. Alright, so we have our scouts waiting to probe that a little bit more. That's gonna be another turn, I believe. And we've met the He-Show already. This'll be interesting, because the He-Show are also a militaristic faction. Actually, they're more militaristic than us. So we're gonna have to be really, really aggressive if we wanna sort of keep up with them. And this is honestly kind of terrifying in a way, because, like, they're here and they're ready to go, it looks like. So what we might want to do here is establish a strong barrier, and the best way we could potentially do that is to get a colony down here and stop them from getting that colony. Now, I'm not sure how capable we are of actually doing that, though. Like, in theory, that is a great idea, but can we actually do it is the question. So what I'm gonna do here is prioritize making us a new incubator. Actually, ubiquitous surveillance will be done in 1 turn, which will let us get a more upgraded engine, which is kind of okay because we may be down to Nusakan by then, and Nusakan will be a colony in 2 turns. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. That's the new plan. We get that incubator out this turn, we're gonna jet it on down to Nusakan where we'll upgrade the engines, and then we'll jet it on down here and try to establish our own colony there, and we'll use influence to basically try to steal their population in order to finish our colony there first. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's worth a try. And what we definitely don't want to do is let them get a foothold here, because if they get a foothold here, they will just keep on and keep on and keep on. And this is an ideal choke point for us. The other thing we could do is we could colonize one of the planets on Alva and then put a choke point here and try to keep them out of our space, because they probably don't have free movement yet, but they'll get it soon enough, I guess. I don't know what the best option for us is there. I do know that once our hack is done, we now have a new target in the pirates, which is great. Let's go ahead and... I just want you guys to guard right there. Don't let people move through there. We don't want them in our space. Like, that's a legit thing. We gotta keep them out. And we are gonna need to go to war, so our people are gonna have to get in gear for real. Let's go take a look at our population real quick. We have Harashims now that are probably helping push the pacifism. We can do this to boost our Harashim population, and then we could consume them to get +3 food, but I'm not sure we really want to do that right now. These guys we could do it with, but once again, we're losing 2 population, and I don't know that we're gaining enough for that. And we're not ever, like, as long as we're ecologists, we're never going to run into a situation where we're at capacity for planets, because we can just colonize another one. So let's go ahead and put infinite supermarkets there. We don't have any strategic resources here, so this is actually not that useful for us. Although, I guess at this point, we're generating so much dust that any additional production is probably useful for us, right? Maybe. I mean, we'd be essentially getting 6 production in exchange for... Well, but that doesn't count other improvements, too. Although, yeah, that's the point, is it doesn't count other improvements. Yeah, so we would get 6 production for 4 dust here. And we're honestly more hard up for dust than production, so maybe not. Maybe not. We'll do it anyway. Production is too good to pass up on. I love production. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end our turn here, and strongly hope that our colonizer can get there fast enough. Be the first to control at least 4 star systems in the same constellation. That has gone to a different empire than ours, and it is not the Hisho. We know that much. We are a hair's breadth from war, and you blockade our system. Honor demands we consider the obvious next step. Look, if you guys want to go right now, Hisho, if that's your deal, if you want to go right now, we can do that. I don't know if that's going to end in our favor, but I'm willing. We'll throw down. Okay, we have unlocked Military 2, which is what we were waiting for, because I believe that should give us access to that new engine, although we may have actually already had it, because we actually get it from Tier 2 of Science, I think. I am just a spaz. Okay, Big Data Shipyards is done, though, and we're now working on our combat holes, which is great, because hopefully we can get to them before the enemies do, and then out-tech them. Oh, we have a special planet here on Pegasus. That is Sahar. Let's go take a look at that planet. It could be very, very worth settling. Okay, so Sahar is a 2-in-everything planet. Interesting. Let's see if we can get a little story behind what... That's not Sahar. That's why it was lame. Okay, sorry guys, there we go. I don't know how I got those confused, but we actually... That's Sahar right there. See all that production? That's why we want to get it. Though Sahar at first appears to be just another dry planet, devoid of anything other than the simplest of life forms, faint geometric patterns that beg to be investigated seem to be etched on its surface. Initial scans indicate the surface runes do not appear to be related to these patterns. There is clearly a story here of some form of civilization, but nothing remains that can easily be documented from orbit. Only excavation and exploration might potentially reveal what may once have existed. So if we get this system, that is a ton of production, guys. That is 12 production per pop. That's really, really good. I would absolutely consider grabbing that. Is that equivalent to this? Is this the same amount? Will it not tell me for some reason? 26 production. Okay. So no, it's not quite the same amount. That would have been really crazy though if it was. Like an arid planet that had the same amount of production as a gas giant. That would be insane. Okay, so military ship prices have decreased on the market. That's actually not good for us because we're not buying ships on the market. I mean, we could try, but I don't think we have the tech, yeah. So that doesn't actually help us. That would help our enemies more than us right now. Let's go ahead and check this Mediterranean because that's the one we'll probably want to colonize if we do colonize that system. And now we actually have the resources as well to begin working on the Endless Research Park. We should go ahead and take a look in here and see if we're too far behind on that to begin though. No, we're still technically rank 1. If you go in here and you see that you're behind rank 1 on the Endless Research Park, unless you have dust to rush it to completion, you might as well just not. Like, switch to something else. The result, if it finishes before you get done, is essentially you get back some dust, but the production, in my opinion, is more valuable than that dust, so you basically don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and see if we can upgrade the engines on our colonizer here. Yes, we can. That's what we wanted. 3 and 3. Let's do this. Okay, so our little colonizer is now ready to roll once we upgrade it right there. 9 movement. Get your butt down there. It's still going to take it 5 turns, but we have no turns. Okay, they are very much about to... Oh. Okay, we're about to kill their outpost because of this blockade. That's great. We'll actually establish an outpost there and then we'll protect it. In fact, if we really wanted to, we could bring this fleet of 4 ships down to protect it. But I'm not sure that's within the plans right now, because we are researching efficient shielding right now, and if we finish that fast enough, then we can just start pumping out much better combat ships and just really be prepared to go to war with them. And I think that's probably what's in our best interest at this point anyway. 1 turn, we will have another outpost here with 1 population. I did not notice that that planet was that tiny. Well, the good news is now we can colonize the other planets here. So that's something. Wow, that planet is tiny. I don't think I've ever seen another planet with just 1 population. That's crazy. Okay. That's done. And you have not scanned everything here, but that's okay, because at this point we'd rather send you down to Deneb just to provide another body and potentially scan down there. Do you have a scanner available to you, sir? Can you probe the thing? No, you cannot. I'd actually like to shoot a probe down this line so we can maybe get a look into the Hisho territory up there, but since that's not an option, oh man, we're still 5 turns out on our hack. I'm almost tempted to just cancel our hack at this point. It's so slow. It's so slow. Hey, Nusakan is ours now. System colonized on Nusakan, that's great. Let's start building all the things. Oh, there we go, there we go. That's a lot more pop slots. Like, that scared me for a minute. I was like, 1 population, that's nuts. I guess I never noticed that outposts only have that 1 pop slot, because once you get that, I guess it expands to a full system. Anyways, that makes sense. I just didn't get it. Don't mind me, guys. Let's go ahead and go with those, followed by Xeno-Industrial, followed by Interplanetary, because it's actually really good here. And then we'll get Sustainable, Public, Infinite, and Big Data Shipyards. And the nice thing is, while this says that it's going to be about 19 turns, it'll actually be a lot less than that. Primarily because we're going to build all these improvements and things will be really nice after we do that. In fact, what we might do, if we're smart, is we might throw this in queue right behind these. And if it's able to get there, Nusakan will essentially colonize this planet and we'll start getting a lot more production from this, and it'll help us burn through everything else. So that's what we're going to do. But for right now, Nusakan is essentially a system where we can leave troops for a second to rest, and that's about it. Like, it's not a great system as far as what it does or what it can produce. Okay, so you are where you need to be. You also have the ability to scan here, even though we're really here just to fight pirates. And we're just going to leave this fleet here for right now, because we do need to complete this quest in order to get use and lose ships, which we actually want, because if we can get that before we start building our really strong military ships, it'll save us a lot of production. However, in order to do that, we do need to fight units, and oh, there's some right there. Hold up, we got this. Get over there, boys. You take them out. You fight that shuttle of pirates. They are 39 and 127, and you guys are 65 and 110. Okay, so that's actually not a bad matchup right there. Not a bad matchup overall. Got some Red Sand coming in. Got Ancient Ruins and 5 XP. Love it. Ending the turn. Hostile trace is detected. Show me the location. Okay, so they're trying to trace us from Quarius all the way back to Rhea. Good luck, guys. If you had, like, the fastest computers in endless space, you wouldn't catch us at that point. So we're gonna get this hack, and once we do, we'll just have to decide what we want to do with it. If we have the ability to use the hack to get a minor pop to come to our faction, we'll actually just do that, and then we can absolutely invade them and test that theory without risking losing them. So that's something I want to consider for sure. Our hero has just leveled up. We could go with either more dust or more food and production. I'm actually going to go with the dust here, mainly because we did note that our dust was a little bit lower. So we're basically using our hero to help shore up some of those weaknesses. Okay. Nusakan is doing well. Cyber Reality will be done very soon. And then the Kilo class, Deca class, and Hardened Behemoths have been unlocked, but we don't have access to the Behemoths yet, so that does not matter. Orion, please, stop. Our cats are such a pain. Like, he's in there playing with something loud and noisy. Anyways, if it comes through, I'm very sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Technology. We do need to get some new stuff in queue. Got most of our inner tiers, and we got our first set of ship technologies. So we could go here to get more CP. That's probably the best course for any military playthrough. You want to get that additional CP, and not only that, but get these tanks. Get these armored ground units as soon as you possibly can. And I think on top of that, we get the Cloaker here, which is great, because that'll let us sneak units through enemy lines. But that's actually not what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. The Titanium AS2 slugs become very, very important for invading. So that's something you definitely want to consider as well, because you can use that to wear them down before you actually send your ground troops in. And that's one of, if not the only module in the game that I think does that, so definitely worth grabbing. That being said, we are going to get the CP from that, and then we're going to come over here, I think, to Science, and potentially grab... I mean, that's not as appetizing as it was a few turns ago when we weren't ecologists. Now it's much more appetizing to go after something like this that will give us some programs and unlock new curiosities and give us some additional movement than it is to go after something like this that's just going to give us arid planets and magnetic field generators that we may not immediately build anyway. However, there are, of course, other options as well. We could keep going up the military tree, which is probably the best idea, honestly. But part of me is so accustomed to going into economy right here that I really just want to get it. And I think the reason for that is that I just want to, like, be able to get our first improvement for our system. Because if we can get Jadinix or something like that, that's crazy. But what I think I'm going to do is, since we're supposed to be doing a militaristic playthrough, I'm going to prioritize keeping military, like, one level ahead of everything else. Not necessarily being in that level, but having it unlocked. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with that, and then we'll probably pick up one more tech here just to get us to this next tier of military, and then we'll skip back and get some of our economy stuff. So if we go here, we get those Titanium AS2 slugs, and we get kinetic enhancers. Not super sold on kinetic enhancers, to be honest. Swarm missiles are nice. If we want to try missiles, swarm missiles are very nice. But missiles are kind of the opposite of what we were planning to do. We were planning to do close-up weapons and using the module that allows you to sneak into range. I believe it's right here. Yeah, there it is. Cloaked ambush. Cloaked flotillas will stay invisible and won't open fire until they reach their desired range. We're trying to take advantage of that and use short-range ships and try that out. We're also trying to use bombers and fighters this time through. So I think what we'll do here is we'll probably go ahead and pick up... I mean, do they even have short-range laser weapons? Like, I don't recall ever seeing short-range laser weapons in the game. I mean... Are railguns technically... No, that's a projectile. See, that's a projectile. That is not a laser. And this is what I'm saying, guys. I'm looking for, like, a laser weapon that is short range, because I don't think those exist. I think almost, yeah, all of the laser weapons, all the beams and stuff. Beams, in particular, are good at every range. But even just flat-out lasers are not good at short range specifically. Yeah, they're actually worse at short range. So it seems like the best weapons at short range are just slugs and railguns. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go this way, because that'll give us the projectile modifier, and it'll give us the Titanium AS2 slugs we want. So that's fine, we'll do that. And once we do that, we'll want to grab something from one of these other trees, and if I have to pick one, it'll be Astrofinance, just because the building provided by Astrofinance is essentially the basic dust building. Although... if we're only picking two from this tier for right now, especially, We probably either want to get atmospheric filtration here, just so that we get the additional happiness and the ability to colonize Ash when we lose our ecologists, or we want to go ahead and get galactic commodities and multi-thread management. So maybe we'll do multi-thread and galactic commodities. Let's do that. And then after we finish those, we can come over here and potentially pick up adaptive bureaucracies, which will give us barren planet colonization and will also provide us with the Denark University, which is a great little wonder to build. Or we could do this one and get the Academy Embassy. Let's do that, because we'll want more heroes to lead our fleets. So we're going to do that instead. There we go. So now we have all of our science queued up. Let's go ahead and see what else we have going on for this turn. He has reached level 4. Did we level him up yet already? It seems we did. Excellent. Okay, and we have new research. Yay! Everybody move. Everybody do the move thing. Slingshot event. Your fleet enters the system Viren and has barely slowed from supra light speed when a belt of rocks circling one of the planets starts to peel off and heads towards you on a carefully calibrated collision course. With your current inertia and momentum, unfortunately, a course change is impossible. So we're gonna take minus 20% health, because that's better than losing the movement speed right now. The movement speed would actually inhibit us a lot more. We want to get down to Deneb and get that place settled. So that is fine. Where did those enemy ships go? Did they can't just have disappeared. Hey, speaking of enemy ships, there we go. Although, we have one more turn till our hack. We don't know where the enemy ships that were coming this way went. Like, there were actual pirate ships over here. We don't know where they went. And these guys are not attacking us right now, so maybe we don't go after them. Maybe we just sort of come down here. Oh, there they are. They went back to their base. How did we not see them when we're right there? That's actually kind of lame. That's actually kind of lame, but whatever. We're going to come back here to that so that we can try to catch them and kill them for our faction quest. Right here, we're going to go ahead and scan these down. If their ships actually leave their system, we can attack them while at Cold War, and it won't actually do anything, I don't think. It might lower their approval of us, but I doubt it. And right here, we might want to use praise now that we have the option, just because for 10 influence, we'll slowly begin to gain resources from them, which is incredibly useful. You would be surprised how much resources minor factions can actually provide you and how much it can, like, help when your start isn't great. Especially with stuff like manpower. Manpower is one of those things that you can run out of if you get really militaristic really quickly. And minor factions, when you befriend them, actually provide you with additional manpower, which is really strong. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end our turn there. Come on, Nusakan, finish the things, do the things, let's get everything done. The power of the Academy has reached level 2. Heroes will start at this level when recruited. Excellent. Our event finished and we got plus 10 dust on systems on Empire. Great, I can live with that. Science pays, plus 15 production on colonies on Empire, increased the industrialist political ideology. Slingshot Part 2, your fleet enters an unknown system and has barely slowed from super light speed when a belt of rocks circling one of the planets. Oh, we already read that part. Focusing on scientific investigation, you study the system and its effects to gain an industry bonus, but doing so puts you in harm's way. Your fleet is damaged but survives. The secrets of the sophisticated magnetics and guidance system will prove worthwhile in your own industries. Excellent. And then the event end for the ghost of a machine. So yeah, we have an 80% chance to discover something. Doesn't look like we necessarily did discover something, because I think it gives you a notification on that now. We have another Diasporid on Nusakan, I think? Yeah, Nusakan, there we go. So that's all set. And 4 turns out on that Endless Research Park. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're still leading on that. We are. Excellent, so we should get it. Unfortunately though, guys, that is all the time we have for this episode, so I will go ahead and tell you that if you enjoyed the episode, you should click that like button down there at the bottom. If you want to see more, click subscribe. Make sure to ding that little bell right there, because that way YouTube will know that you're serious. They will know that you're so serious that they will surgically install a bell in one of their employees' ears, and when my videos go live, it'll yell into their headphones, shaking the bell, and that's how you'll get a notification that it's up. I'm just kidding, that was really long-winded, I'm just having fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace!